Hi everybody, it's Amy at Crafty Cat, and I was just making some ephemera. It was mostly these that I talked about when I made that Valentine's card the other day with the buttons. I did sew all these on, and I am not a great like stitcher or anything. Nobody's ever taught me. I just do it myself. So if it looks wrong, sorry about that. I just had to kind of teach myself. So anyway, sewed a few different buttons on and used different threads and stuff like that. I did do 3 French knots down there. Someone reminded me what they're called. So thank you. I just couldn't remember the other day when I was talking about this. But yeah, so that card that I made is right here, and on this one I didn't stitch these on. I just glued them on. I just tied the strings and stuff through them because I just wanted a different look for this particular one, and I didn't do any of the French knots. But this is what I was talking about originally. They kind of remind me of the old button cards, obviously not as, you know, orderly or neat as those are, because, you know, they were all in rows and stuff like that, but it just kind of gives that feel, and I love that. And they're hard to find, those. You could also make something like that, you know, do the same idea, just get all the same buttons and stitch them on in like straight rows or whatever, and that would be cute too. But this was just something that I found on Pinterest with a completely different look, but I just did it the way I wanted to. So last night I was sitting on the couch with my scraps and just put, you know, some scraps together and then stitched the buttons on, did the French knots, and I did do some stitching around here, and it's not meant to look perfect, and I know it doesn't, because again, I am not a big sewer or embroiderer. I have done some ribbon embroidery in the past, but it's been a long time, and but I wanted it, you know, to kind of have that rustic look. So I was putting together some ephemera using that. And I took an old dictionary, I took 3 pages and glued them together because they were pretty thin, and cut them at, let's see, 4 by, it's about 6 3/4, just about, and the fold is 3 1/2 roughly. So it's basically 4 by 6 3/4, but then, you know, you fold the bottom up. But I mean, you can use any size book page. It's not like you have to have this particular size. And then I just took some of my scraps and stitched them on and stitched up the sides, and I did add an envelope to the back, and these envelopes are the same as that paper that I've used in the past from Amazon that I have, that's like different, they look like they're coffee stained, and I'll put the link below to these and the paper this time on the video, because I had somebody ask, and I just want to make sure you guys can get it if you want it. But so that's the envelope. I just cut it down to the same size, and you know, so then that way I have a pocket back here as well. So I've got a pocket here, and I'll have a pocket back there, and I'm gonna make this just a little tuck. It'll just be, you know, for little things, nothing like major, because it's just not going to hold a lot, because it's just scraps that are all, you know, stitched together. So anyways, that's what I'm up to. So I thought I would go ahead and turn on the camera. I should have turned it on sooner, but I was just listening to the radio and you know, doing my thing. So but I was like, I should turn it on and show everybody the button kind of cluster thing. And it may not be new, it just may be new to me, and I haven't seen it before, but that doesn't mean that someone else also, you know, aside from Pinterest, hasn't done it. I just haven't seen it, but I just think it's super cute to, and a good way to use old buttons and add some interest on your, you know, journal pages and cards. I mean, you can use them on cards, obviously, that's what I started with, and you could just use them for all kinds of things. I just think they're kind of fun. So I'm just going to put that there, and it got a little bit of the dip because I held it in there while I cut that, just so I could kind of get an idea of where I wanted it. And then I'm going to just put a little ink up here because I forgot after I snipped that. Put a little on that thread. I like putting like an envelope or something on the back of these just to give them a little stability, because book page sometimes is a little bit flimsy. I just had all these scraps. They're all in my scrap stuff. A lot of it's Daisy D, and you can't even get those anymore. And I'm not even sure where these little dress, like paper doll looking dresses came from. So, but it's just cute. So just whatever you got, use it up. Just trying to do some of that because I'm tired of having bags and bags of stuff. You know what? I'm going to have to cover that if I'm going to make it a tuck. I just thought of that because of all this rough stuff on there. Let me see. Let me get a piece of scrap. It doesn't really matter what it is. So I think I'll just take a piece of this and put it on the back of that. And we'll just cut it since it doesn't have to be perfect because nobody's going to see it. So I hope everybody's having an awesome day. I had a pretty good one. I went to work and mailed off. Oh, I got all this stuff mailed off. So if you won, you know, one of the things from my giveaway, it's on its way. I shipped it off today, so I don't know exactly when they'll be there, but, you know, because everybody lives in different distances, so. But hopefully fairly soon it will get to you. I don't know why I'm inking that. Nobody's going to see it, Amy. So I just need to cover this in the middle part so that it'll be smooth. And I need to put it right up along the top here so that nothing catches on it when it's going in and out. I'm going to use my finger. And also, I wanted to tell you guys, I mailed off my card for the unconventional Valentine challenge, and you guys all, well not all, but you know, the card that I sent was the Mad Hatter one. That seemed to be the one that everybody wanted to go, and I did inquire on Instagram as well, and that was again the one that, I mean I did have votes for the other one as well, but that was the one that got most votes. So that's the one that got sent away, and she has received it, so now I have to wait until the 25th of this month to see if I won or not. So that would be kind of fun if I did win. But I'm sure there's going to be some awesome cards, so. Because everybody does such a great job. See, that I think that'll help as a tuck. It gives it a little more body, and it'll help things slide in and out of there a little bit easier. So I'm just going to put glue all around the edges here. Oh, and I did want to put some lace on there. Maybe I'll put that down first too. Let's see what we got. I don't know if this one's too wide. Let's see, I've got these. This is really going to be, probably would be for like a little girl's journal or something like that. Baby girl or a little girl. I want to do that or this. I think I'll do the shorter. I like the longer, but it would just take up a lot of your page like that. So maybe I'll just do this one here. It's cute. I like cutting with pinking shears because then I get that edge like that. Sorry, I kind of have a big fat mess here because I've been working on this, and when I'm just working away, that would have been bad if I would have glued the top. I just make a mess. I think that's fairly common. I'm just going to put a little bit of glue right along here to hold the lace down. Yeah, so at Reuse Muse, it's Wendy, I believe. And she said she's going to do a video because she did receive the card. So if you guys want to check her out, it's Reuse Muse. Right, so now there's a little tuck spot there. Whoopsie, sliding around. And, you know, the pocket back there and the big pocket in the back. So I thought I would make, this was the leftover from the dictionary page that I cut off. The bottom got kind of torn, so I didn't save that piece, but this is 3 pages. And I even kind of like this, where I ripped it out of the book. It just looks kind of neat, so I think I'm going to try to go ahead and make a tag out of that. The only thing is it might get caught up going in and out. I don't know if that would be a problem. If I can get it in there. Yeah, see, it's going to get caught on stuff. So I guess I'll trim that so it's more even, but I do like that raggedy edge on there. And I've got my junky cutter, so who knows if it's going to cut straight or not. I go through these like nobody's business, I'm telling you. I don't know if I'm just really rough on them or if they just don't last. And I try getting new blades and stuff, and I don't know. That and corner rounders seem to be the bane of my existence at most times. So I am going to put a little more glue. I just use glue stick when I put it together because I wasn't exactly sure how much of it I was going to use. And at the moment I wasn't worried about the edges, but now that I'm going to use it, I am. So yeah, this pocket, I never even got to show the last one that I did for a baby type journal. It had baby dolls, like paper dolls that were babies. And so I'm going to probably use another one of those in there when I go to finish it. So I'm going to put a piece of coffee stained paper on here. Sorry, as you guys know, when I get doing stuff, I'm not great with the talking. Not that I'm ever super great with talking, but it's been bitter cold here. Oh my goodness, the last 3 days. I mean, of course, nothing like you guys had back east and stuff, but cold to us anyway. It's been like 18 degrees and wind chill. It's like 16. It's just been, like I said, we got a little spoiled with the whole nice weather thing and not having snow and not having that cold of temperatures, but I think we're getting our time now. Supposed to snow this weekend, so we'll see. They keep saying that it's gonna snow, and then it, you know, there's like a dusting when you get up in the morning, and that's it. Which is fine because I'd rather not shovel it. It's not my favorite pastime. About 3 years ago, we had what we call Snowmageddon, and that was, I literally shoveled more snow than I probably ever have in my life. And I grew up in the mountains, so it's not like, you know, I never had to shovel snow or anything. But that was crazy. We were out of school for about a month because it wouldn't stop. And it got so piled on. You had your piles on your piles out in our driveway. It was like over 6 feet on the sides piled up. It just got to the point where it's like, where do you even throw it after a while? Let me get a wipe. Which is not fun. All the yuck from the glue. Now I need a handy little towel here. Okay. So yeah, just some coffee stained paper on the back of that. And then I think I'm just going to kind of collage on this side because that's always fun to do. I have kind of just all these random papers. Like I said, some of these are Daisy D that you can't even get anymore. I wish you could because it was some of my favorite, see, Daisy D's, some of my favorite papers because they were really vintagey looking, but like kind of sweet at the same time. Like just I did have some, and I don't think I have any left, but they were like little tiny roses and just, I don't know, I love stuff like that. And it is kind of hard to find. I did find one place online on Etsy, and she had some pretty good stuff that I printed out, but I just, like, I always have something in mind and I can't ever find it, is what I feel like, and I don't know if anybody else feels like that. Maybe it's just me, but yeah, I just always feel like I can't ever find what I'm looking for. Probably because I'm not the hippest person in the world. Like, I tend to always like all this old stuff, and I know a lot of people like, you know, the gold in the paper and shiny and all that, and I'm kind of dull and boring and not into that. But see, like this has the little tiny roses. I just like stuff like that. So anyways, I'm going to just kind of tear this. And I like to tear the edges too. I know a lot of people just leave them square when they're doing their scrap, because see, now I'm going to have all these little tiny scraps, but I just like the look of it when it's not like a perfect edge. You know, like it's not too bad on the edges. Like if I bring it up here and put it, that's fine, but then see, this edge bugs me, so then I want to tear that. So it's something mental with me, I don't know. And then I link the edges a little bit, or I do it after when it's all glued together. And I just start gluing. I like to do this when I'm sitting in front of the television because I find it relaxing. And the same thing with that sewing last night. That was nice because I could just sit and do that. I have a hard time sitting still, so that helps me stay. That way I can feel like I'm, you know, watching with the family and know what's going on in the show and all that. But I don't get that ants in my pants thing happening. I do like to sit there with them though, and there's a few shows that we watch we love, like Young Sheldon. That guy just slays me. I don't know. It's so funny. And you know, we watch like Big Bang Theory and all that, so we just have fun laughing. I like funny shows. I can't do some of the strange stuff that's on now. I feel like, I don't know if I'm just getting old or if things are just getting weird. But, I mean, it's probably a combination, obviously. But I just sometimes feel like I can't take it. Like, I just can't. I don't like all the zombie stuff and a lot of that, so that just doesn't work for me, so I don't watch that. My husband watched that, I can't even think of what it's called, Walking Dead or whatever. He liked that. I just can't get into it. So that's when I will sit and watch YouTube videos. I just put one earbud in my ear so I can still hear if anybody's asking me questions or whatever. Just knocked over my cutter, sorry. So I can still hear them, but I just am not paying attention to the show because it's too weird. I just don't get the whole zombie thing, I guess. And I am kind of hanging these over the edge, and I can trim those up when I'm done. I just like making sure I get to the edge, so that's kind of the point. I know there wasn't much point in having a page here, but I just like to have a base, and so book pages tend to make a good base for stuff. Oops, not that side. I know, probably one of the only people that says they don't like The Walking Dead, but I guess that's what happens when you get old. I like that the best. Yeah, I liked Daisy D's and Wild Asparagus when I was scrapbooking. Of course, I did have babies then and stuff, so that, you know, interested me, but it's hard to find stuff that has that kind of a look to it. I'm finding not having a lot of luck. I did find, like I said, this one lady, and I'll put a link to her because I can't think of her name off the top of my head, but these are digital prints from Etsy, so those are pretty good. I do like those. Maybe I'll do this side so I can get some of the polka dots, and then I had this, I like this with the yellow, It's not a very big piece. Let me see if I have more. Then I can take a bigger chunk. Yeah, I really like collaging. I think it's super fun. But still, every time I rip a piece of paper, I have more, more scraps. But, you know, I'm trying to get rid of some of it. Let me see, I want to figure out, because this is going to get pretty thick. Kind of want more of this end. I'll take this off and whip this edge, because I'm liking that polka dot thing. So I don't need as much of this. Yeah, so doing those button things, that's very fun, because you can use up some buttons. And I mean, I don't have a ton of buttons, but I do have a few. I know people have whole collections of them, so that would be a fun way if you had some really cool ones, especially if you had them, you know, in your own journal or whatever. Then you are keeping them, but you can look at them all the time instead of having them in a jar or something. So that's the kind of fun part about that. Or, you know, give them as gifts, you know, on a card. That's another fun thing if you have people in your family that keep your cards. I know a lot of people just toss cards. Just depends. I keep some depending on what they are. Even store-bought ones, because I like the images and I reuse them. Oh look, see, I missed a spot. Oh boy. But you know what? I think I'm going to put something on there, so I don't think it matters. Alright, I don't know exactly what I'm going to put on there right now. I might have to think on that for a bit, and I got to find those little, those baby paper dolls. I put them somewhere in my box of all that stuff, so and I haven't gone through it. But yeah, that'll work for that. So I'm going to keep working on that, and I'm sorry I'm not finishing it. I was just more wanting to show you guys these because I think they turned out pretty cool, and that's fun. And then I did another one, and this was just one of those cards. I can't think of what they're called. Drawing a blank. Anyway, it just was a square or rectangle card, and then I tore some other papers, put them on. I did some like cross stitching here, stitched on those buttons with different colored embroidery floss, and then did a few French knots there too, and I thought it would be fun. I got this bag from Denise with buttons in it, so I thought it would be fun to use it and go ahead and put this on here, and then that way it's like, you know, a little pocket that can be put on a page. And I'm putting it on this where it says Made in Taiwan part, because I'm also thinking you could use it to put in and out of a pocket, and then that way the back doesn't have that. But you could do it either way. If you know you're going to glue it down, it's not going to make any difference how you do that. So just going to glue this on there, and then I think I'm going to add a few things to this card because I don't feel like it's done yet. I'll just go right on there. I love these bags. They're really cool. I need to get some of those. I got some glassine. My husband got me some glassine ones for Christmas, and those are really cool too. I like to put my, you know, stuff that I sell, if it fits in there, I send it off in those, so that's fun. But I thought this would look cute with Tim Holtz paper ball on it. Oh, I made this card the other day too for my sister for Valentine's Day. Kind of to look like those old-fashioned ones with the doily with the middle of it cut out and just the image back there. And this is that, these It Kapili, the Imaginarium those art dolls that I've been using. So that's one of the ones that are in it. I think it's the oldies. Might not be the oldies. I'm not sure. Yeah, I think it is the oldies that she's in. And then I just had other little things that I glued on there, so that was kind of fun. And then this, let me see. I have a whole mess of like paper dolls. So I was just trying to find something that would look cute on here. I saw Creative Cafe girl the other day. She did some of these paper dolls, and she took like the girls, and I think she even did it with this one or a different one that was sitting, and cut them right here and then put like a big long skirt on them. Those were super cute. I thought that was an excellent idea. Just, you know, just to do something different with them, because I think sometimes we get in a rut with how we use some of this stuff. It's fun to just mix it up a little bit and think of something different to do. He would be kind of cool too. He's a little bit bigger. Yeah, I kind of like him because you can see him a little more. Let's see what else I've got. Sorry, I know it's super exciting to watch me dig through my junk, but and it doesn't necessarily have to be something to do with school either. I mean, it is the 2x2 thing, but you know, people use flashcards and stuff all the time for stuff that, you know, isn't school, so you could do it however you wanted to. It's kind of cool too. Looks cool sitting over there. That's one that's just something I've found and cut out. I love fussy cutting. That's another thing I sit and do when I'm at night when I'm watching TV. These two are cute. Too many choices. Nothing's totally speaking to me yet. I was trying to see if I had one that was a little bit smaller of that one boy. I don't think I do though. Wondubar, he's a little tall. Oh, you know, sometimes this is the only thing I don't like about these paper dolls, is sometimes they cut them funny, so that makes his face look weird. Oh, these ones are a little bit bigger. Would they fit? They're going to totally cover up the cross stitch. I mean, not that that's that big of a deal, but she's funny. He's smaller, but he's too small, I think. I don't know, I think I just kind of like this one, although I don't, it's like he needs to sit on something, sort of. I can't think of what I would have him sit on, but I guess it doesn't really matter. Because I just like that one. I like the color of him. You can see him better than you can see her sitting there. Okay, sorry, I keep hitting the camera. That's the problem with tripods. That, and I've noticed lately I've been having a lot of trouble with the tripod being in my frame, you know, like my view, and that's irritating. I'm going to just look at some of these too. Denise gave me these fabric stacks. And that one's kind of cool. See, that's going to cover. That's kind of cool too. It's got the A, B, C, D, E, F, G. These are really cool that she makes. She's going to be selling these like in a bag like that, you know, full of them in her Etsy. I mean, she's probably already selling them. So if you like these and you're like me, I just don't have fabric because I don't really do a whole lot of sewing or anything. You should go check it out because she's got lots of neat fabric because she used to do quilting. Well, I mean, she probably still does, but so maybe that one. I think it's going to be too much if I try to. Oh, she might be kind of cute over there. Maybe something like that. I don't know. I wish you guys were here and could tell me. And then I will make another tag to go inside of there. I think I'm going to get some dimensionals to pop her up on, because I just like the way that looks. Ink her up a little bit. Now I really got a mess going. And all my little ripped shreds over here. I'll go ahead and get rid of some of these. Sorry if I make you crazy with my disaster. Her leg's kind of weird. I think they get like too close to them sometimes when they're cutting, and they must have machines that like pop them out or something. Not that, you know, a human can mess it up too. There, now she kind of looks like she's sitting on the line. It's cute. I really like that fabric stack with the alphabet on there. It's cute. I don't know if you can see it. A little alphabet on there. It's covering up this, but this was like travel tags and stuff anyway, so it's not necessarily that big of a deal. It's just what I was messing with last night, so I'm not that worried if it gets covered up. And that's just what happens when you're collaging and doing things like this. You put all this work into the under layer, and half the time you don't see a lot of it. I a lot of times put glue on the back of these dimensionals because they sometimes they lose their stick after time. I don't know why, but anyway. And I'm going to put a good amount of glue on here because I want this to stick down. Fabric tends to soak up glue, obviously. And I just kind of want that. I'm going to leave a little bit of that so you can see it. And then I will be making a tag to go inside the pocket. And then these will end up in my Etsy shop as soon as I'm done. It shouldn't take me too long to do that. I'll probably make a few tags because I can't ever just do one. And then I'm going to figure out what I want on this one too. Paper dolls, I love them. But I think I'll let you guys go now because I don't want to keep torturing you. I've kept you long enough. But it was really these clusters that I wanted you to see today anyway. It's not necessarily that you had to watch me do all of it, but I was just doing it, so I figured I would let you on. But that is a lot of fun, so you might want to give it a try if you haven't ever done anything like that before. So anyway, hope you guys have a great day, and please subscribe if you haven't, and please push the like button because I do have some videos where I'm getting some thumbs down or dislikes. I'm not huge, but so just to kind of help, you know, make that even. If you want to and you like it, go ahead and push the like button. I'll talk to you guys later. Have an awesome day. Bye.